Alright, what's up everybody? So you guys have now tuned in to another recap of Empire, and before I get into it, let me give a few shout outs from those of you that commented last week. So I do see that Nelly Mac 91 had commented. That's Mac with 2 C's, and also Game Freak TV 12. And to answer your question, Game Freak, I use a Canon 70D, but I use it on a lower resolution when I do these types of videos, just so it can upload a little faster because they're so long. Well, they're not that long, but they're longer than my other videos on my other channel. And so now we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this recap. So things are kind of getting a little hot and steamy with Angelo and Cookie. So it looks like she's really starting to feel him now, because he's starting to boss up. Like, he was giving her ultimatums and stuff, and she was just like, oh, okay. You know, she needs that little thuggishness in her life, but she kind of wants a balance right about now. I think that that's the point where she is in her life. And plus, she realizes that back in the day, she should have picked a guy like Angelo, but she ended up going with the Luscious thug life. So she kind of wants that thug life, but then she also wants that, you know, that grown man type of gentleman type of guy, you know? So yeah, she liked what he was saying so much that she ended up giving him the cookie, if you know what I mean. Jamal, he's trying to be creative and do like this whole Beyonce visual album type of thing, but he calls it like a visual museum. Luscious wasn't really trying to hear it. He doesn't care about that. All he cares about right now is his live stream and getting those numbers up. And that's kind of like how things like YouTube and YouNow and all these different live stream things, it's all about the numbers at the end of the day. It's like people, a lot of times, they don't even care about the content. They just do the stupidest things in order to get the numbers up. And that's at the point where he's at right now. He's just trying to get those numbers up in the millions. And he says that Jamal pretty much has the lowest numbers. So when he shows the visual album to his mama, she was loving it. She was just like mesmerized, because it was about her and his favorite girl and stuff like that. And it was just really a beautiful song. But she was looking at the visual album, and then she seen pictures of her past and pictures of her daddy, and all of a sudden she just started freaking out. And she didn't really give any explanation. She just kind of like was out, and that was it. So it was kind of weird to see. So Cookie, she was actually supposed to meet up with Angelo, but that whole thing that went down with her, where she just got freaked out after she saw those clips of her father and her family from back in the days, she ended up not showing up. And she was supposed to meet Angelo's mother as well. So when she finally goes to see him and everything is done, the whole event that they were having, she does apologize, and she actually tells him the reason why she arrived late is because she saw Jamal's visual album, and it just kind of brought her back to a dark place in her life, where she got kicked out of the house when she was like 16 years old because she wanted to hang out with Luscious, and he was taking her home late and stuff like that, and her father was just trying to save the other two since he couldn't save all three, and it looked like it was one of the hardest things he had to do. So those are some of the things that kind of like messed her up in the head, and that's why she freaked out when she saw those clips. And he actually ended up passing away 3 days after that. So her sister always kind of blamed her for the father's death, because he was stressed out because of her. So Nessa, she goes to see Andre, and she invites him to this memorial that they're having for her brother that was, I think he was killed, if I remember correctly. So she says, you know, it's really family oriented and things like that, but I guess because he's so special to her right now, she opted to invite him. And she also warns him that her brother, that Shine, is mad because because Frida is supposed to be joining with him, his artist, and she doesn't even want to like have anything to do with anything Empire related. So of course he has to play Mr. Fix-It and try to get things going, and he says that he would like to invite her to the memorial. And that's exactly what he does. Cookie, she tries to make it up to Angelo by doing this big dinner for his mother. Like, first she wanted to take her out, but no place would accept her because Luscious kind of blacklisted her everywhere. So the next step was to just like her sister had said, was to do it at her place. So that's exactly what she ended up doing. She changed everything around because she had like soft porn on her walls and things like that, like paintings. So she ended up switching all that stuff up, making it more family and more like extravagant and things like that. And she tried to like learn how to eat right and speak right and, you know, just the proper ways of life so that she can impress this woman. But things was quickly going down south. I mean, when she came, she already knew, like, oh, you didn't have to change up everything for me. She already knew, like, I know you don't live like this, girl. This is probably too minimalistic. Like, it's too, you know, just not something that somebody like you would have. So, you know, you got to have your fur and your minks and all these things and, you know, tigers on the floor and everything else. So, it just was too, like, plain. You know what I mean? So, Jamal was one of the first people to come. I don't even know why she invited the whole family. I mean, she could have just had the little intimate setting with them. But she went to invite all her boys so that they can meet her. I'm like, you're doing too much, Cookie. You're doing too much. But Jamal came. He was high up off the new drugs that his boy toy had gave him. I'm like, why would you go to this thing all high up like that? Like, that's crazy. You want to wear sunglasses. He was saying all kind of stupid things. He even told her that he saw the shade that she was throwing or something like that. He said, he's like, I see you throw a lot of shade, Miss Duver, or whatever the hell her name is. I was just like, oh my God, this is bad. This is bad. Then next Hakeem comes with the little baby talking about he can't do this. Mom, you was right. I'm like, why didn't he just find Anika? I mean, Anika's the mom, right? Why did you come over here with the baby crying and screaming? I mean, you knew it was going to be a dinner party. Like, why would you do that? And then Luscious and Anika comes and I'm just like, I'm sorry for you, Cookie. This is bad. So he wants to air out all their dirty laundry to mess this up for her. And it was just, I don't know. He's just such a hater, isn't he? It's like, if you can't be with me, then I don't want you with nobody else. But you already married. Like, you made your arrangements. So just chill out and let her live her life finally. He's so controlling, right? So anyways, luckily that didn't scare the mama away. She was still there listening to everything. I mean, he mentioned that Cookie was in jail. The son is on drugs. Where's the other crazy drug son? Like, he just put out everything out there. How that's Hakeem's baby, but he had to raise the baby. Like, how he raised all these other kids because Cookie was locked up for 17 years. I was just like, oh, man. Cookie, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't know if you're going to win this one. But she made a nice little speech and just said, you know, how she loves her whole entire family. Although everybody, you know, people could be crazy, lazy, or whatever. This is her family, and that's just it. Like, that's just the way it's going to be. Like, she owned up to everything and was just like, yeah, that's it. And then Jamal offered to sing a song. And he went on the piano, and he just sang like this beautiful falsetto type of song, like in this falsetto voice, I should say. And it was just amazing. It was beautiful. And I was just like, it was about his mama. It was pretty much the same song, and she was getting all the visuals back in her head, and she just started crying because, you know, the song was really touching. But Luscious the hater, he quickly was told Anika to come on so that they can get out of there. Because Jamal's like, this is what I was telling you, I do have music. Because you remember he tried to play him earlier talking about, oh, where's this music that you've been using all this money in the studio to produce, but we don't hear anything. So he proved to his father that he's working on some stuff, and some stuff that is really absolutely gorgeous. And it's worth the wait. Like, you don't need to rush to do everything. Sometimes magnificent things take a long time, you know? Some people are able to do it like that, but some people want to perfect. They want to go through it again. They want to make changes. Just make sure it's beautiful and perfect before they put it out. Especially with all the things that he's been going through, it's best that he kind of makes sure that things are good before he says, okay, I'm going to really put this out there. And that's what I feel. And other than that, those were pretty much the highlights. They did get Frida Gatz to go up on stage, and she did her thing. Like, you know, Frida's a very good artist, and Shine was being a little sneaky, taking a little video while she was doing her thing. So I don't know if he did that to show it to the FBI Fed guy, because she did say some things about how the Lions were like, she said something, y'all know I can't decipher these raps, but I remember she said something about how the Lions were like bad or whatever, and she didn't think they was like that. And she was also talking about her father and how he was like her king and things like that. So yeah, Shine was just there with the recorder, like, so I don't know if he's gonna put it up on the internet, if he's gonna show it to the FBI guy. I don't know what he really gonna do with it, but he didn't really ask for her permission or anything like that. Like, she was just doing this out the kindness of her heart to celebrate your family member's life, and you like is just there like recording this. You know what I mean? I felt like that was kind of like grimy a little bit. But that's pretty much the episode. We ain't going to drag this one. So the season finale or the season finale or the fall finale, whatever is the finale, is going to be next week. So we definitely going to rock out. They're going to have a new show called Star. I probably won't go ahead and, I'm not going to go ahead and recap it most likely unless I really, really love it. But I am going to be watching it. So you guys can definitely check me out on Snapchat, Samore's World. Or probably I might be talking about a little something on Snapchat, so that'll be a good place to chat with me about it. Okay, and we're back here again on next day would be Sunday, then Monday. So we got Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays right now. All right, guys, be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.